I mean,
technology for the last 25.
you're a law professor, you were a law student, like you're
Yeah,
all in one. You are the legal community.
I have to train myself. I'm using something with myself.
Yes.
Okay?
Shout out to Professor Cristiano's TMU students. Have your students subscribe and like watch your video. What the heck, subscribe? So for example, definitely, sorry to cut you short, some law firms have started using AI, they started building that into their practices, right? And there are some clients who have also gotten onto AI and they want to hire lawyers or firms who are using AI. Mm-hmm. So the conversations are shifting on the other side. And if you're going to law school and the end goal is for you to become a lawyer through this process, are we being prepared for the future or are we being prepared for what happened in the past?
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
It's a rhetorical question.
One,
you don't have to answer it.
No, because I like it. I like it.
Like, what are we doing?
Because the law, we are kind of specialists about the past.
Yeah.
Because decisions are, or to take, where are they taken in the past, right? Mm-hmm. And the laws, they solidify things from the past to throw them to the future, but they can be changed, right? Yeah. So when I'm doing some research only on law, on legislation and jurisprudence, you're talking a lot about the past. Mm-hmm. The way we use law to talk about the future is when we mention public policy, equity, then we move to the present and the future. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a very scientific question you ask also, by the way. But about law students, what I have to think different things to say. 3. One of them is don't count in our law faculty of law to do that.
To teach you everything, yes.
Because they won't, because they are pretty lost, professors as well. Yeah. In general, law faculties of law, they are. Mm-hmm.
They're also learning too.
They're learning too. Mm-hmm. And accommodating, and it is hard too, because things change. Yes. What you would affirm 1 year ago, there's nothing to do with now. Sure. Oh, AI hallucinates. Well, the models, for example, now I worry less about the models. I worry about what to call the things around the model, right? Mm-hmm. The context, the harness, the other elements. But that's just that. But if you're in law school, you want to get a competitive advantage, you can invest part of your time that will be a good learning. You're gonna go to law firms, they're gonna know a lot less than you. And some people will say that I know a lot about AI, and when many times I sit down, I do that with my students too, right? Okay, who knows about law, about AI? Many people will say, and then 30 minutes later, they've changed their minds. They don't know much. Because the knowledge of what people know is what they use. Yes. So, but there are so many things. Yes. And many times this knowledge is like a big Swiss cheese with huge holes, right? Mm-hmm. More holes than cheese. So, but you can learn. It's accessible. There are so many sources that you can do it, and you can be part of this change that law firms need, because they are not there yet. And the Canadian law firms are behind. Yes. Most of good part of the world. Mm-hmm. If they have, you cannot compare the Canadian lawyer and this Australian one. For example, it would be very unfair. There is huge the thing, and even the U.S. Canadians are very prudent, but they're getting behind. So, and when sometimes they start one thing, the ball is another place already, so that can assist. But the last thing I'm gonna say is, because that's a concern, that's motive also to people to learn, because before law firms could work in a pyramid, right? Yeah. They would need many people
underneath to do a little groundwork, administrative work, which is a heavy lifting that AI is doing right now.
And the AI can do a lot. So it is moving from a pyramid to an obelisk.
Yeah.
Okay. Shrink. So you can get there to be these bases, very thin bases of an obelisk. So we're gonna have less places for the heavy lifting or for looking documents manually, because computers they do this very well. But the thing is, the obelisk is not the same side of the pyramid. Who is using AI now can really do a lot more
and spend less time.
Spend less time. So you can focus the time that you have on the things that matter, on things, because there's things that AI can do. There are things AI can assist you, and there are things that
you
needs
should
to
be
be
yourself.
Fully human.
Yes.
So those things that are fully human, passing to AI, you can try to do, you think you did, but you fail many times and can cost a whole career.
Yeah, and a license. Use your brain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it brings brains of people who went to law. They're very expensive brains who cost a lot of time, effort. That's my worry, is that people they don't know when is where. It's not is use AI or not. It's for what, in which limits, and when you know you're being assisted by AI can be a great Socratic partner for learning a law, for example, can be a partner, and sometimes if you use AI, well, it can be a big help. If you use only prompting the way people do most of the time, it's just like hiring an intern every day and having to explain to this intern every day what has to do. If you do this inside a project, inside ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, where you have your documents, where you have instructions there, is like having an intern, a senior one, who's been working with you for a year, and a while knows how you write, what you need, so it can be really a help.
More helpful to you. Okay.
But then you can move to do this inside of those small agents that we use in Claude Code for now, Codex for ChatGPT, and new tools. They become your assistants in things. It's no longer, it's like a partner for many things. So you can distribute work. It's still you that is going to work, and I'm sorry to tell people, you're not going to work less.
You still work more.
You still work a lot. Okay, you just be more productive, and you'll be focusing more time in what matters.
Yes, I agree.
And not in trying to fit this thing here and this margin and the font and the right way of putting this in the McGill citation here, very manual one.
The right comma, the right period.
McGill, I can tell you. Skills in Claude, even ChatGPT does well, better now, but Claude saves me time. Normal time for McGill citation for sure.
Okay. That's fair. Thank you so much for responding to my question. It was even a rhetorical one, but you had answers to it. So what I picked from that is, obviously, if you're a law student at this point in time, like, don't wait for your professors to teach you everything. I mean, law school is also here to teach you how to critically think for yourself and have sound judgment, and that is part of you doing the heavy lifting yourself, taking what you learn from class and going on with your own knowledge to find better ways to create better things and be part of the change. And as we go into practice in the future as a lawyer, you're required to use those skills anyway, so you have to keep up with the times. That's what I got from your response. So I just have two more questions before I let you go. So right now, what do you think we can do to best promote the ethical use of AI? So I know we're hearing less issues about hallucinated cases and blah blah blah, but we still want people to use their brains.
Of course.
Which is a real fear that law schools have of producing future lawyers that are not using their brains, is like leaving it to these machines. How best, just in like maybe 2 sentences or short, to promote the ethical use of AI?
Keep what are your worry more specifically?
My worry?
Yeah.
I think it's having.
That's for law students or lawyers, or
it could be anybody. I would just say the legal community. So whether law students or basically law students, because we're the ones that have the first entry into what AI is. Somebody coming into law school, they're supposed to, for example, learn how to read cases, know how to spot legal principles and find the patterns in certain judgments. And now AI is here, like a notebook LM can just condense that for you without you having to read through that. So you might have a student who never read a case. So
Or
they didn't go through that. And then tomorrow they're faced with something and it's like, oh, if this AI tool is not there, they actually cannot do the work.
So I'm gonna give you two formulas.
Okay.
Okay. That's brand new. Just to explain to who be listening to us, I teach law, I work in legal tech, but I have been a researcher too in law and technology for the last 25.
You're a law professor, you were a law student, like you're all in one. You are the legal community.
I have to train myself. I'm using something with myself, okay? Because I cannot do the jumping part of learning. Because, for example, right now we're having property law. I need to learn this thing, right?
Yes.
It is complicated.
Yes.
I need to learn thing. So the goal for a law student, it is to learn the law and build legal reasoning. That's the goal. Grades are just a consequence of that learning, and not the goal itself. If it at best is secondary.
Yes.
Goal. So for that, I have a protocol that I call trace and proof. It's a pair of protocols. Trace, well, it's an acronym. So the acronym is trial. The first thing, before the AI, you have to do a trial. If you have a question, have you draft an answer unaided first? At least in your brain. Okay, I try to answer this. Can I answer this question without any help from AI or going for online sources right now? No, because that's also without this. Okay, so that's the first thing. I do this. The second thing is the R of trace is recall. And you do, what can you retrieve from your memory, or even your notes, before going to AI. There will be assistance. Are you going to ask AI to do the whole thing or just some tasks that you need help?
Okay.
C will be the criteria. What would you use to judge the help the AI is giving you? Because are you just accept already coming, or do we have a criteria?
Going to do research, make sure that's giving you the right thing.
And also the other thing is explaining. Can you state your reasoning, what you think would be, and what you're having difficulty to? Because knowing the problem is half of the solution already. If you're just throwing this without thinking, you, not her,
not me,
you. So then you're jumping part of the
you have a gap in knowledge, and you're wasting tuition.
You're wasting tuition your money. Because you see professors frequently, they ask something before giving the answer.
Yes, that's
a pedagogical tool, because if you ask yourself, oh, I don't know, then you get to know that you don't, and you get curious to know. So that's why I use it. But then that's we do before AI. After you get it, you have to check if what you're using comply with the course or the professional institutional use, what you should be using.
How you should be
because
using
depends
it.
On where you are, right? Every place depends. If you are in my class, you can use AI for this and this and that. Don't use for this. That's my policy.
What are the rules?
For a professor, it can be different, right?
Yes.
So, but the other thing is references. Are the references there? Because that's the part of people, you have to verify. Yeah, that's the moment you go for. Is every case, statute, quotation, is everything correct? Is they right?
Does it exist?
Are they the most relevant one?
And recent,
Because sometimes they are right, but they are not the important ones.
Yeah.
The important one is another one.
True.
So people do mention, it didn't hallucinate. Yeah, but it was the wrong one in other sense. And the other thing, after you do the thing, you have producing, can you say what you did? Can you explain it? Can you defend it?
Can you own it? Yeah.
Can you own it?
Yeah.
Because so many times you live over here. What's the written that? I don't remember. I don't know. Why?
Why don't you know? Didn't it come
Why
from
don't you know?
But you signed it.
You signed it. Yeah. So, do you know what was in the V of the proof thing? With the version, can you know what's the difference from what you thought before and what you got in the final? You know the difference from one point to another. What did you learn? What did change? What was innate from you? And change everything. Was everything? And in the last one is the A, is the ethics thing. Are you ready to disclose this? Or are you going to say no?
It's okay for me.
I never used AI. There is nothing of AI there.
And then they catch you. No. And then they hold your hand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can you say what you did?
I can't remember.
Yeah. So I am working in protocols right now to explain to my students and to myself, because I'm my own guinea pig.
Prototype, yeah.
Yeah, I first have to see if it works with me.
Yeah.
But I'm not best parameter too, so I have to go to other people to check. So my students are my partners. That's good. Too. My colleagues too.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I'm sure your students are very lucky to have like an open-minded professor like you, because it's good to change with the times, but to have someone who's already way advanced being there to kind of put you through this stuff, I think it's very, very helpful. So shout out to Professor Cristiano's TMU students. Have your students subscribe and like watch your video. What the heck, subscribe? And then you guys are lucky. You guys are lucky. All right. My last question, I'll bundle it up into one. So right now, I like to think of you as our cohort's honorary AI professor. No one gave you that title, but like that is how I think of you as. And so what do you think law schools should then be doing to better equip students? You're already doing it yourself, but is there something that the institutions should be doing to better prepare students for the new world of law and AI? Because it's not something that we can run away from. AI is going to be there in the future, in the current now, with how law is practiced. Are there any like things that schools should be doing and implementing at this time to be current with the changes?
I'm gonna tell why people say those things. Is we were discussing about notebook LM before, right?
Yes.
When I started with the GPLLM thing, I also was teaching three different faculties in 3 different languages, in jurisdictions.
Yeah.
And time to study was not fine, so I couldn't study the same way that I did when I was an undergrad.
Exactly, you have more responsibilities.
Yeah, so less time, more responsibilities, and a lot of energy to distribute, and not the same one that I had some years ago. Not to not say how many, but then why would I try to study in the same way, or highlighting text, when we know in cognitive science that it doesn't work very well? And why would I just try to summarize things, just organize? Because we know that interactive ways of accessing information is better, or why would I just use text and text and text, the same way of text, those very condensed texts of law books, right? They're horrible to read. They're horrible to read, yeah. You go here, there are blocks of text.
Because we're in the library.
Yeah, you go to
blocks. No one is walking through these aisles to look for information.
Yeah. This is not the best way to study.
It's so fresh.
So the way we, for example,
no offense to the writers of these textbooks, anyways.
Still, but they're not really the primary source that work. So I use Notebook LM, for example, for different things that I suggest people to try. It is when you get a very condensed, difficult text, there is this technique of 30,000 feet overview. Then you have a highlight of what the text is, so you can expect what's there.
Again, yeah.
So for that, I use video overviews. So everything I put there in video from Notebook LM, it is a 30,000 feet overview. And there is, after 30,000, you can lower a little bit, you go for 10,000 feet. And for this one, I use slides. The slides in Notebook LM are very nice, so we can do in a very different style if you want to. I like to play with that, but lately I'm being more, let's say, I'm behaving more, because I want to send to professors later, and I use that for study, and I use infographics for everything that is legal tests, something that visually you can grasp it with just a
for visual learners.
Yeah, you take some seconds and understand visually what it means. And for legal tests is great. For example, constitutional law, it helped me a lot in constitutional law, so many tests. And anything that is flow charts, it helps also. And infographics can be great for that. And so also those are ways to learn law in a different way. Because that other thing, for me, for all professors, assuming that every student is the same thing, that there is one type style of learning, that's it. So if you don't excel in this specific way that it teaches in class, it means that you're not good at student. No, you can be great with text. You can be great listener. You can, you can be someone
writer. Like handwritten versus typing.
Exactly. There's so many ways to learn, but the problem is we go to a class. Sometimes the person is just insisting in just one way. Right? And just some of them just go there and have a few words written in saliva all the time. And you just get lost after a while. You cannot continue to do it.
It's so boring.
It is so boring, and
the content is already dense and boring, and then having a boring person teach you just makes it so worse.
Yeah, that's true. So that's why we can explore, and we have those tools for now. That we didn't have before. So that's why I'm repeating. It is the best time to study law, and. But so many law professors, they're just desperate. How? They were going to pay less attention to me. Okay, let me tell you something new. They were not paying that much attention before. So you might have chances to do things now that you couldn't do before. And provide other ways to make learning more interactive and spend more time discussing with students, because you have other ways to work with law. So recommendations for law schools, I have so many at the same time.
Let's do it few. We have like 30% battery life.
At the same time, I'm in a committee for the University of Montreal. They are supposed to launch a document right now. I hope that will help some people. But I think it's just we start. We have no idea where we're going still. But I just think it is a very democratizing moment, because your professors don't know more than you.
True. For the first time, we're learning together. That's true.
Yeah, you can be there to teach them too.
Okay, law students, go teach your profs.
Please do it.
Okay, that works. Well, thank you very much, Cristiano, for having this sit-down conversation with us. At our last video, I would usually ask my guests if they have questions for me, but I didn't get to ask you that time because we ran out of time. So I said I would not be unfair to you. I would ask you here. If you have any questions for me. And I'll be brief with my answers because my camera is dying.
All right. My big question is, now that you know a bunch of international trained lawyers, ITLs.
I know a lot of people.
Yeah, you do, and hear them. What advice could you be giving to international trained lawyers coming to this
Canada?
hard career? Coming to Canada.
I think I don't like to advise people, because if the advice goes south, then they blame you for it. So do whatever you want to do. But I guess that my suggestion would be, number one, watch my channel because you learn a lot from people like Professor Cristiano that has a wealth of experiences, and I'm sure that from the diverse wealth of knowledges that you can pick up from each speaker, you learn one thing or two that resonates with you. And how I learn is I listen to what different people have to say. I learn from their stories. What did they do that was right? What mistakes did they make? Am I following? Am I mirroring this person's style? I like this from this person. I'm going to mirror that. Oh, they made this mistake, then I don't have to make that mistake. My theme is, the key suggestion would be knowledge is very, very important, and surrounding yourself with the right people. So if you're coming into Canada, you want to become a lawyer in the common law area of Canada. This is not like Quebec or civil law, that's different. You have to be in the right spaces amongst the right people. Obviously, you'll be part of that change and cheering people on as well. But knowledge is important, because it can be a little mistake of you being in the wrong program. For example, you're applying to the GPLLM, you want to satisfy your NCA requirements. Instead of applying to the Canadian Constitution, you go do business. That has cost you $30-something thousand already, if you can't change. So right. The knowledge, knowing the right thing to do, the right people to ask, is something that I would suggest to anyone to have. That's once you have the right people and the right knowledge, the sky is your limit, because you will always be carried along. That's like my suggestion. And talk to people. It doesn't matter whether you're interested in what it is that you're doing or not. It's just great to learn. Like, I never want to be a professor. Like, I'm not going to do what you're doing. That's not my strength.
But I really don't recommend PhDs.
I would not. This is enough school for me. You did all of that. I ain't doing that no more. But I'm learning a lot from you and from other people that I've spoken to that are in areas of life where I would have never probably walked those shoes. So yeah, this is me talking too much, but you get the gist.
Thank you, Ella.
Thank you, Professor Cristiano. Do you mind having like if people want to reach out to you on LinkedIn, someone like has a wide AI like invention, they're like, oh, I saw that. Okay.
From time to time we give some we do some conferences, open ones.
Okay.
That's all good.
Okay, I'll put his LinkedIn details in the comments, not in the comments, in the description box for you all to see, and please leave your lovely comments and everything for Professor Cristiano in the comment section. I'll catch you all in my next video. Remember to like, share, subscribe, turn your notification bell, all that good stuff. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.